and welcome on in to our very first video in our newest series. We're going to be checking out news and announcements from games in the City Builder, Management Sim, Base Builder, Colony Management, Tycoon, and Tower Defense games. We're hopefully going to be able to shine a spotlight on some titles, both known and a little more unknown. So with that being said, let's dive in and see what January and a little bit of December has in store for us. Republic of Pirates closed out a very successful 2024 with the release of 2 new maps to free play mode. The addition of these 2 maps will aim to give players a more varied gameplay experience by offering different starting conditions and challenges to the player's settlement. Map generation is also on the horizon for this pirate city builder. P-Cube and Crazy Goat Games have said they hope to release this in early 2025, giving players the chance to create their ideal archipelagos and islands upon which to plunder. The post-apocalyptic city builder that, frankly, everyone is sleeping on got a surprising end-of-year update. New Cycle has now been moved to Unity 6. The new engine will allow the developers, Core Engage, to push the limits and horizons, more so than they were already doing. This change also future-proofs the game infrastructure against features that will be added as the game continues its journey towards its 1.0 release. Unity 6 will also provide a much more stable and optimized gameplay experience, so we can consider this a good move all around. With an eye to the future, Core Engage is focusing on new biomes, in addition to the Great Meadow and Tundra maps already available, as well as new resource mechanics, additional structures, improved lighting systems, and a number of adjustments to existing systems that will make managing your settlement just that much more difficult. We've likely got a huge update on the horizon around Northern Hemisphere spring, Southern Hemisphere autumn. Considering this is the first year this title has spent in early access, New Cycle is definitely one to keep an eye on as development continues. Prehistoric Kingdom released Update 13 on December 22 last year, a major update for the park management simulator. With the addition of 2 new species, there has also been a change of the park rating system. It will now be goal-oriented and affect the rate at which guests enter your park. There's a new UI update for your toolbox and changes to your guests' behavior. They will now seek out benches and booths to sit and recover their rest need, as well as to eat their meals if they've just purchased one. They'll also prefer to stand closer to the animals in their enclosures now, as well as chilling out and spending longer admiring your beautiful creatures. In addition, a bunch of scenery has been added, with new biome items, signs, foliage, and more, so you can design the park of your dreams. And last but not least of our updates was a wonderful little Chrissy present from Slavic Magic. A new Manor Lords update was made available on the beta branch on Christmas Eve, and it includes 2 new maps, a huge new marketplace rework, and a bunch of upgrades to existing structures. The high peaks and winding river maps have long been sought after, and they do not disappoint. To go with your brand new river, a bridge building system has been added to allow your villagers to traverse between shores, and in the vein of water-based upgrades, your well can now be upgraded to a 2nd level, as well as your tavern. In amongst a massive bunch of performance tweaks and upgrades, we can now rejoice, for our missing mug has been found and added to the drinking animation in the tavern. To access this update while it's on the beta branch, make sure to right-click Manor Lords in your library, go to Properties and the Beta tab, and pop in the password, Very Nice Basket. No spaces. All of these updates have been linked in the description below, so make sure to check out the full posts for more details. On the 8th of January, Builders of Egypt will launch into 1.0. After starting out as Hard Ancient Life back in 2018, this historical city builder has had a very long developmental journey, with its prologue originally delivered on March 2nd, 2020. With a robust beta period, this game has gone through extensive test and trial by its early players, which has hopefully resulted in a super smooth gameplay experience. In Builders of Egypt, you'll build Egyptian cities from the ground up, paying particular attention to the needs of your citizens, the resources you produce and the ones you need to trade for, and build monuments to your glory that will outlast the ages. Yes, combat will be present in this one. You'll need to manage your armies and command your battles while building defenses to keep your city secure. On launch, both a campaign and sandbox mode will be available, so you'll be able to check out Builders of Egypt however you prefer to play. Airborne Empire is entering early access on the 13th of January. This sequel to the well-received flying city builder Airborne Kingdom was unexpected when it was announced in June of 2023.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
This open-world city builder has undergone a huge amount of development over the last 18 months and sports a much more fleshed-out world than its predecessor. The biggest change to note between games is definitely the addition of combat. Where resource management was your biggest enemy in Kingdom, pirates will represent a much bigger threat to your lofty metropolis in Empire. Following on from the previous game, you'll re-enter the skies as the prophesized inheritor, bound to inspire and encourage the citizens of the world to rise up and take back the skies. With 3 biomes expected upon launch into EA, quest lines, both main and side, have been added to each one. You'll also have points of interest to explore across the map while constantly maintaining the resources required to stay in the air and fending off the pirates who desperately wish to maintain their air supremacy. Airborne Empire hits EA on January 13, so not long to go now for fans of this franchise. And lastly, the beast of January releases rises. Foundation will hit 1.0 on January 31st, after nearly 6 years in early access. This titan of medieval city builders has been super well received in its early access form and will now move to the next stage of its release. A lot of development took place during 2024, preparing the game for its full release, so even veteran players of this one should have some new elements and structures to look forward to. Polish and optimization seem to have been a huge focus of recent development, as well as a ton of quality of life improvements and systems. The devs stress an extensive array of new features, content updates, and improvements that will make Foundation feel almost like a new game. All in all, this is a hugely positive update for this beloved builder and the perfect way to cap out a very strong first month of 2025. January is indeed looking fantastic for all fans of these genres. If you reckon I missed anything, do feel free to let me know in a comment down below. This is a brand new series, so I'm still developing my workflow and I'm absolutely open to some little helping nudges along the way. If you know of anything happening in the city builder, management sim, base builder, colony management, tycoon game, or tower defense sphere that you'd specifically like me to focus on, do feel free to email me at reneskyplays@gmail.com to let me know. Otherwise, I'm super keen to hear which games you guys are going to be either picking up or returning to, because there's been some amazing updates and announcements over the last 4 weeks or so. For me personally, I think I'm going to have to dive back in and scratch that Manor Lord's itch, because there's something about the rivers and the bridges, and updated taverns, the marketplace rework, the High Peaks map in particular is going to be really interesting to see how that affects battle strategy, because you do just have this really narrow pass to work with now, whereas before we had a sprawling map, we had lots of options for which directions we could approach battles from, but now we kind of only have this one narrow mountain valley. So that for me, I think is going to be what I have a squiz at in my free time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and do let me know, like I said, if there's something that you in particular are looking forward to, because I'm totally open to suggestions on what to bring into this series. I think this is a super strong start to the year, and I really hope that February can follow it up. I'll be back with another video early in the month of February with all the news and updates you need for that month. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy creating. Management sim, base builder, tycoon, colony management, and tower defense genre. Is that actually all of them? First go! City builder, management sim, base builder, tycoon game, colony management. Okay. We're going to be checking out all the news and announcements from the... I knew it was coming and I got scared.